I've got 2 furry co-stars today. Say hi! Everyone, meet Shrimply Pibbles, the newest addition to this podcast. Say hello! She doesn't want to be on the podcast. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Go play. Go play! Hello, and welcome to the Tiny Human Knits podcast, episode 5. This is my podcast about some knitting, sewing, crochet, cross-stitch, every crafty thing possible. And I'm coming to you from high-level Alberta, Canada, up in the middle of nowhere land, as I say every time. Hello, and thank you for watching. Big thank you to people who have been here since the beginning, and hello, and welcome to people who have just started. Yeah, you can find me online as Tiny Human Knits on Ravelry and on Instagram. And you can also join our Ravelry group, which is Tiny Human Knits Podcast, on the Ravelry Groups tab. So yeah, pretty much anything, any social media website, if there isn't someone with the username Tiny Human Knits, it's probably, I'm not on there, so yeah. I hope I'm finding everyone well. It is a beautiful sunny Saturday morning here in High Level, which is nice because we've been having a lot of rain lately, so my garden was getting a little bit flooded, so I'm really happy for this sunny weather. But there's no administrative stuff, so I'm going to jump right in and talk about what I'm wearing. This is the only summery knitted garment I own, and it is called the Cordia Tank. You can find it on Ravelry. It is by Kerri Blumer. I hope I'm saying that right. You can find her as Kerri Knits on Instagram. And this was in a knitting magazine. I could not find my copy of it. I've got a lot of knitting magazines, so I don't know which one it is, but you can find it on Ravelry, and there'll be a link to either purchase it on there or you can buy the magazine. It's written really well. It was really easy to follow, and I just love the shape. This shaping here, I love it. I really wish I had made it out of something other than cheap. This is wool-like, 2 strands held together. Again, it's the same stuff my wedding dress is made out of, so it's super cheap. So it's a good option for people who don't have a lot of money. If you hold 2 strands together, you get a DK worsted weight, sort of. But I do have yarn, I think, that will work to make another one. I got a secondhand sweater from my friend Elise, and it's made of cotton, which would be way better to make a summer tank top out of, because this is almost too warm to wear in the summer, just because it's made out of acrylic. But it's made of cotton, it's white, and it's sewn together in the way that I could really easily unravel it, and I think it's the right size, so I'm going to try unraveling that later on in the summer. And then we'll see if it works to make another one, because I really, really want another one. It's really nice. But yeah, I recommend this pattern to everybody. It fits really well. It looks really nice. Yeah, go do that. Okay, so I have 2 finished objects this week. The first one was going to be my vanilla socks in the Purple Haze colorway by Patons Kroy. And I don't have them right now because I finished them really, right after I finished my podcast last time, and I didn't want to have her wait 2 weeks to get her pair of socks. So I just gave my coworker the pair of socks that I made for her. So I don't have them right now, but I do have the crocheted cowl that I was making for her as well. That's just this right here. You can find it on Etsy. You can download it on Etsy, and I think it's the oversized white mohair cowl or some variation of that wording. I bought this pattern, I think about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've made quite a few, and it is an amazing pattern. It's so pretty. And I made it out of some really inexpensive loops and threads. Again, how I roll, but it's really soft. So this is, I'm gonna try to get it all. This is what it looks like. And it's a fairly straightforward, just popcorn stitch detail. The fan, it's really nice, and she really liked it. So if you're starting to crochet and you'd like to do something a little bit more involved than just single crochet everywhere around, then I would definitely suggest this pattern. It crochets up really nicely, and I added a couple more repeats just for size because I don't like cowls to be like where you can only do once, or if you do it twice it's like you're choking. So I just added a few more repeats of the pattern, which is just 12 stitches, I think, as far as I can remember. But yeah, this was also for my coworker, and I gave it to her last week, I think, and then she just let me borrow it for the podcast just so I could show it, just so I didn't have two finished objects that I couldn't show at all. So that one's that. I don't know the name of the designer because I forgot. That's all. For my works in progress this week, they're very similar to last time. The only difference being my vanilla socks, because you always have to have a pair of socks, are for my husband. This is going to be the first pair of socks I'm going to be making for him because he would not stop nagging me. And I'm making these, it's just a pair of vanilla socks. I'm making these out of the Time Traveler Felici yarn. Just this right here from Knit Picks. This is the set of yarn I got from Sam of the Hand Me My Knitting podcast as an exchange. And they're perfect for my husband. We're both avid Doctor Who fans, and I know this just says Time Traveler, but it's blatantly Doctor Who. So I've got just toe up, and I would have been farther on these, like a lot farther. Right now I'm only just past the toe, because originally I had cast on 16 stitches in the Judy's Magic cast on, and then had increased to 72 stitches, which I don't know what I was doing. I was following like a basic vanilla recipe for the circumference of his foot, but I kept looking at it and thinking, this is way too big, this is way too big, this is way too big. And I didn't want to get like a whole sock and then find out that yes, in fact it is way too big and have to start all over again. So I trusted my gut instinct, unraveled it all, and cast on again with 14 stitches for Judy's Magic cast on and 34 stitches for the foot. I actually got him my pair of Hermione's Everyday socks that I had made out of Knit Picks Stroll Tweed were 64 stitches. They're a bit loose on me. They're more of a house sock than wearing in your shoes. So I went up to him, took his sock off, put that sock on, asked him how the fit was, and he said it was great. So I knew that going down to 64 stitches was a good idea. So I'll be working on that this week. It's great travel knitting or lunch break knitting. Although this week has been so slow at work, I've actually just been doing cross stitching the whole time, but nobody seems to mind. So that's the first work in progress. The second work in progress is The First Light Shawl by Vera Valimaki. And this project has been very like treat knitting. Like when I'm having a really busy day and I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off, I love at the end of the day just to put on a few rows of this shawl, just because it's so relaxing and beautiful, and it makes me happy to make it. I've just finished the short row stripes. It's still really scrunched up on the needles just because of the construction. So I've just finished the striping, and now I can start working on the lace section. So because it's lace, I don't want to be making it while I'm thinking about other things. So I'm going to be saving it for a day where I have just nothing else to do except work on the lace section. And again, that's made out of the this is Ella Ray. The pinky purpley beautiful color is an Ella Ray, and then the gray is just a Manos del Uruguay in the NyQuil colorway. And actually it looks like that in the skein. This stuff is so nice. If you ever see it and you're like contemplating getting it, just get it. I've knit quite a few items out of this yarn, and it's really nice. It wears well, it blocks well. So I'll be able to work on the lace soon, and then after that it's just another section of short row stripes. So it actually, I don't think it should take me that long. It's just a matter of getting through the lace section so I can work on everything else. My third work in progress is my Stranger cardigan. And I was really, I talked myself up last time saying, oh yes, I should be done this, totally. I've barely worked on this the last 2 weeks just because I've been so busy with shop stuff. So I'm still on the same panel. And that's just that. Feels so bad. It's never taken me this long to make a sweater. I'm still really enjoying the cable pattern. I think what the problem is this yarn, because it's acrylic, and I'm turning into a snob, it's not as smooth and nice feeling as I'm used to. But after I'm done the podcast today and done editing and uploading and everything, we're going to binge watch the 10th season of Doctor Who. To the point where we can. It's still one episode left, and then I'm just going to work on this. That'll be my task for the day, because I need to get it done. I have so many other projects I need to work on, and I feel like this one's holding me back because it is the most complicated of all the projects I have to work on. So if I can get this done, then I will feel a lot more relaxed and a lot better. So that is my third work in progress, and that is being held in my handmade sweater size project bag, I quilted. And I think I might be making a couple of these to go into the shop. If anyone is interested, let me know in the comments, and then I might be putting some up in the shop. So that's that. So because of my shop update that I'm wanting to do on Sunday, I haven't been able to do as much knitting, but if anyone was looking for some notions pouches, you're in luck. This is pretty much what I've been working on predominantly all this week. And I've got lots of colors going into the shop. I've got 13 pouches. So I have got that one, and these might look the same, but they're not. Got it in pink, purple, gold, blue. This I'm calling rusty pink. This is sort of like a brighter blue. And mauve. So yeah, if you've been wanting to get these, but I've been sold out because they do take a little bit longer to make, there will be more in the shop update on the 25th of June at 10 a.m. Standard Mountain Time? Mountain Standard Time? I honestly can't remember what time zone I'm in. I'll put on the screen. And so, yeah, that's the shop update. And if you have any particular colors you're wanting, if you want different colors than that, feel free to message me on Etsy and I might be able to do a custom order for you easily enough. I have plenty of fabric, so I should have a proper coordinating fabric to go with it. And I would be very happy to do so. So that's everything maker-wise. I said last week that, or not last week, my last podcast, that I was going to Edmonton on the weekend, which I did last weekend. I spent some time with my sister, spent a lot of money at craft stores and yarn stores, and it was a really good time. It was very, very fast. It takes 8 hours to drive there and 8 hours to drive back, which I was by myself, so it sucks when you're in a vehicle because I'm used to being the passenger and being able to knit while we're driving, so it felt like such a waste of time. But I got a lot of supplies that I needed. I had run out of everything, so I managed to restock all of my supplies, and I also went a little bit mad buying yarn. This is not just what I purchased when I was in Edmonton. This is also orders that I have put online on Etsy mostly. From indie dyers and stuff. So this will be my acquisitions section. If you don't particularly appreciate watching what other people bought. I know some people don't really like looking at that. This is where I'll say goodbye. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and see you again next week after next. But for those of you who do enjoy watching what people have purchased, this is my acquisitions for this week. First one I'll show you, I ordered from woolwarehouse.com.uk. It's a British site. But Drops Design was having a huge wool sale for their, well, any of their yarn that was made out of wool. And I decided I needed some sock yarn. I'm trying to build up my sock yarn collection because after I'm done my job, my seasonal job, I won't really be able to purchase any yarn. So I want to be able to have enough yarn for socks for the rest of the year, which I think I should have. First set I got was this beautiful orangey spicy. The reason I bought this particular color was because it's called Tex-Mex, and my husband and I, whenever we cook, we put the spice Tex-Mex in our food. Probably too much as well. We overspice everything. So it just reminded me of that, and so I'm going to make my husband some more vanilla socks with that. And then I just got a couple sets of yarn to make socks. So these are going to be a set. This is color number 162, and this is color number 110. They don't have names on them. So that's another set for probably me. These are probably mostly going to be for me and my cousin Jennifer. This one I'm really excited about because it's beautiful. This is color number 904, and this is color number 101. And then the last set is just some solids. I might make them into socks together, or maybe keep them for heels and toes and cuffs for other socks, but we'll see what kind of other yarn I get. So this is color 105, this is color 112. So these are really nice. Like, they're a lot softer than I expected them to be, being commercial sock yarn, but I'm pretty excited to use those. And I only have 3 pairs of hand knit socks that I made for myself. I've made more than that, but I really enjoy wearing hand knit socks, so I really want to work on building up my sock drawer. So that all came in this really nice organza bag, and I got that the day before yesterday, I think. And some of the things I bought when I was in Edmonton, I stopped by the River City Yarns in Edmonton. That's where Tracy of the Grocery Girls works. And I actually saw Jody there. She was there buying yarn. I didn't say hi because I didn't want to fangirl, but hi. So when I was there, I bought the skein of Manostil Uruguay Alegria that I showed earlier. This is the same yarn as I'm using in the first light shawl. I got some for myself. Now I'm wondering, did I buy that there? I didn't. I bought that at Pam's Woolly Shop in Stony Plain. And I might as well just show you that I got this one as well. These I got in Stony Plain. I don't know why I'm trying to lie to you guys. And then a great big ball of Regia. This is just for some vanilla socks for a different coworker. Okay, let's start again though. When I was in River City Yarns, I got this one. This is a Julie Asselin hand-dyed yarns. And this is a beautiful tonal gray, but what I really liked about this is that it's got stellina in it. And this is the first thing I've ever got that has stellina in it, and it's very exciting. It's so pretty. But that is going to be paired with this Louette champagne colorway. So these are going to be a shawl, and I'm thinking a Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli because it's really pretty and I want to make one. Either that, or it's going to be the first light shawl by Vera Valimaki for myself. I shall decide that at some point. So that's what I picked up there. I don't think I picked up anything else from there. I was actually quite restrained when I was in there. I was very surprised. Proud of myself. So I also picked up some fiber when I was at Pam's Woolly Shop. Anyone in the area, Pam's Woolly Shop is like a halfway point between Michael's and River City Yarns. It's got a very wide selection of price ranges and a lot of commercial yarns, so if you don't have a huge budget, it's a better place to get a more variety. But I also picked up some fiber. I got a spindle, not a spindle, this, for hand spinning, in a fiber share package last summer. And the lady who sent me the package had sent a little packet of wool to try spinning. I spun that. It wasn't amazing, but I really enjoyed the process. But I haven't picked up any wool since then, just because I haven't really had any money to spare. But at Pam's Woolly Shop, they have these Cordia 100 grams packs for $8 Canadian, so that's pretty good. So I got 3 to practice. So I got cream, beautiful mustard, it's called butterscotch, and this pink. They called it skin. I don't know why. It's not skin. I've never even met a person that has skin like that. Probably because people use it for felting, but I got 300 grams, and I'm really excited to try it out because I really want to like spinning. I want to get good at it because I really want a spinning wheel, and it would be pointless if I didn't know how to spin. So I got those 3 for practice, and I'm thinking, I know Tour de Fleece is starting, I think it's July 1st. I can't remember how long it goes on for, but I might use that as a way to motivate myself to try spinning and be a little bit more consistent with it. Because it's something I really want to learn how to do. It'd be, yeah. The rest that I have is stuff that I ordered online. I'll show these first. So last year, earlier this year, I won a giveaway on Instagram. And I got 3 skeins of this Quince and Co chickadee in the clay colorway. And for the longest time I deliberated on what I could make with it, like if I had any other yarn that I could add to it to make a shawl or just like a hat and mitten set or something. But I decided I would rather make a garment with it. So I have 3 of these, and then I went on the Quince and Co website to see if I could pick up some more, or what kind of colors they have, and oh my goodness, the colors they have are so beautiful, and there's so many of them. I wanted to buy all of them, but I restrained myself and got 4 skeins. The first one is the Chanterelle, that one. I got 1 of these, and I thought it went really well together, but then I also got 3 skeins of, goodness gracious, I don't know how to pronounce these things. That one. If anyone could tell me how to pronounce that, that'd be great. So this is the Heather's line of the chickadee. So I got 3 of these, and I just think they go really nicely together. There's a couple patterns I've found that have 3 colors of a sport weight, and there's one in particular that I think I have the right sort of amounts with. If I can't find anything that works with the yardage that I have, I might have to take another sweater pattern and adjust it to my own needs. That'd be pretty easy though, just add a design to an already designed sweater. So that was that one. One of the first things I ordered when I was able to online is a skein of 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And this I ordered from a Etsy shop called Lovebugs Yarns, hand dyed by Diana. And I saw this online and I had to have it because it's beautiful. It's called Cold Lava. She sells, this is a repeatable colorway in her shop, and I just love it. It's so speckly and so just, the colors are so nice. And I've never bought a yarn like this, so I'm really excited. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. It might be socks. They would make really nice socks. I'll have to see and wait and see. But my first impulse purchase, it's very fun. And lastly, this is the last thing I promise, this week, there's more coming. I ordered a skein from Woolberry Fibre Co because I've been pining for ages and I didn't even care what it was, what color. I just needed to buy it, but it came and it's so pretty. And this is called the Manica Blossom. It's a simple sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards per 100 grams, and it's so pretty. This might have to be a gift knit for someone. Although I'm not really a purples person, but lately I've been drawn to them so much. But it's probably because of the pinkiness in them. But yeah, I have that. And I'm expecting a lot more. So if you hate it, I'm sorry. It's probably only going to be for the next 2 weeks or so because I can't keep buying yarn at the rate that I have been. But what I was thinking is because I have so much single skeins of sock weight yarn coming to me, I might be able to do a find your fade. Maybe. I honestly can't remember what half of them look like. But I've always wanted to, and I've never had the proper yarn for it. But now I might be able to. I also ordered some Knit Picks yarn for some custom orders for a couple of my coworkers, but I added some undyed skeins of yarn just to try dyeing a little bit more myself. I'm not gonna like become a yarn dyer probably, but I love the idea of being able to make something that's specifically what you want. Like you don't have to go looking in a store because everyone knows as soon as you have something specific you're looking for, you'll never be able to find it. So I want to give my hand at that, and I think it'd be fun. Stuff like that's always fun though. It's like sewing your own stuff. But yeah, those are all my acquisitions. Sorry for how long and yarn heavy that was, but when in Rome, I don't know. So I've got my huge stack here. I'm expecting quite a bit from Knit Picks actually, just because a lot of cardigans and socks were requested, like a bulk order of pink and gray socks. So in future there will be a lot of the same thing, I think. Hopefully though I can make my socks like the main project, just because I have more works in progress now than I normally do, and it's sort of stressing me out, so I should probably just try to work on that sweater and get it done, and I think after that it'll be a lot more smooth sailing. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. Part life-wise, a little bit of blather. Main thing, we got a kitten last weekend. We named her Shrimply Pibbles, and if anyone was wondering, that's from a television show called Rick and Morty, which is a cross between Doctor Who and South Park, which means it's smart but super inappropriate. But yeah, she's great. She is such a brat. She needs to play, which means she crawls all over you. I've got scratches all down my leg just because she thinks I'm a climbing frame. But she's lovely. Her and Oscar, our rabbit, they get along really well. He didn't like her at first, but he's gotten used to her, and they spend a lot of time. We have one room that's specifically for them, and they each have their own cage. We locked her up in her cage overnight for the first couple nights just because we didn't want to like wake up in the morning and have our bunny have attacked the cat. But now when I go in there, they'll both be sitting in our bunny's cage, which is adorable. But no, she's okay, and it's been really fun having a pet you can actually pick up and cuddle instead of trying to pick up a bunny and having it freak out on you. Oscar does not like getting picked up at all. He hates it. But Pibbles doesn't mind at all. She likes being cuddled and played with and falling asleep right underneath your chin. That's her favorite place to fall asleep. If you're lying down, she'll crawl right up here and fall asleep, which is super inconvenient and adorable in equal measure. So that's pretty much the only thing that's been going on. Besides that, work is really slow. I've been cross-stitching a lot at work. That's all that's going on. There's nothing. Our all of our plants are coming in our garden. I need to weed again though because we got a couple of thunderstorms and for some reason that meant that new weeds popped up everywhere. But besides that, not much is going on. I might just leave it there. There's not much interesting to talk about, so I will say goodbye. And I hope everyone has a lovely knitty weekend and the rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye!